Good afternoon and welcome to a video. Today's a video. We're about to work on something that you probably weren't expecting. I've been doing a lot of 240 stuff lately for Springfest, but that is over. That was March 15th. Currently March 20th. Don't know when this video will get out. I usually try to say dates because of the fact that it takes me a month to edit, but regardless. Today, we're working on my 1971 Camaro. I have a couple videos. The last video, a little clippy, little thing, gonna pop up in the screen, like right here, right there. That's for the last video where I worked on the Camaro. I was cutting it all apart and doing things that people hate and made them cringe. So that's kind of funny. Today we're gonna be fixing what I did before in that last video of the Camaro. So if you remember that, that's awesome. If you don't know about my Camaro, it's a 1971 base model. It's actually an LT, which is like slightly more luxurious than like base. It's like right above base. Still crank windows, but I had like, I don't know what makes it an LT. It's an LT though. I don't even know if it's a thing. That's what the steering wheel said. It said model LT or LT model. I don't know. It's a Camaro is what it is. It's a base model 1971 Camaro, so it's sweet. Solid bumper, not the split bumper. Everyone loves split bumper. It's not a split bumper. It's a solid bumper. I like the solid bumper. So, anyways, disregard the little rant about the Camaro. I have this Camaro. I bought this car when I was 15. I might have been 14. Like almost 15. I'm pretty sure I was 15 though when I bought this car, which was my freshman year of high school. I bought it for $500 as a full, complete car, full interior. It had a 307 small block, factory engine, turbo 350 trans, and it didn't run at all. Got it home, pulled the intake off to put a 4-barrel carb on it, found like an inch of sludge, realized the engine was pretty bad, pulled it to do a rebuild, and I kind of got to the point where I was like, why am I spending all this money on a 307? Have you heard of a 307? Exactly. Why am I spending money on a 307? Anyways, ended up picking up a 327 that was bored 30 over, had a thumper cam in it. I don't know what kind of cam, I don't know any of the specs, but it chopped good. So about a year and a half ago now, I sold that engine, and she's just been sitting dead in the backyard. And you know what? I'm tired of it sitting dead in the backyard. All right? This is it. I don't know what you were expecting, but this is my 1971 Camaro. Oh, well. So this is it. I have the front end. It's right there. The hood's in the back. So that's all. Don't worry about it. Disregard. I told you engine's gone, trans is gone, everything's gone. The car's solid. It's real solid. There's not really any rust. I gutted the doors. That was in the last video I talked about. All for the sake of getting this gigantic, heavy American boat down to as little weight as possible, and making it it's either going to be a drift car or like a pro touring style track car. Not 100% sure which route I'm going to go, and I mean, I guess I could go either. It's just pretty much tweaking some suspension and changing tires to drift, and then pro touring, tighten up the suspension a little bit, take out some camber, you know, this, that, and the other. So it's going to be extremely custom. I'm going to make a piece of metal, with this metal right here on the workbench. I'm going to make a piece that goes and covers this hole. So I already smoothed it down with the flap wheel. There's a little lip. You see this lip right here? It was like that all the way around, but now there's not. Got rid of that. Smoothed down some of the spot welds and just some area where I know I'm going to be welding. So the plan is, piece of metal comes out like this and comes at an angle, attaches to this, and then I'm going to fold this ugliness, where I drilled all the spot welds out, over it. So this will be covered again. Alright, so extremely rough. I just got the bend there and the bend there. This is actually very difficult to make this. I had to make a jig with square tubing, and I used the dogs to sit on the table as weight to keep the table from flipping, but I just bent it with like sheer force and a straight edge, and I got it. So it's gonna sit like, obviously not on the ground, it's gonna come all the way up to the top. Let me see if I can do that with one hand here. Something along these lines right here, and I cut this too, see that? So something along those lines is how it's gonna go. That's pretty sweet, huh? Obviously I'm gonna clearance around where the hinges go. So now it's basically gonna just be starting to cut and form. Cut and form is what I'm gonna do. So that's pretty sweet. That's gonna add, because what I want to happen is air that comes in the engine bay is going to be bounce off of this, and I'm going to have a vent in the fender in this area, so it's all going to be like nice and smooth. Obviously it's not going to be smooth right into there, but you know, for the most part it's going to come out the vent. So that's a good start. It's a real good start. So I'm going to notch it where the hinges are, and then kind of just start working the metal from there. So little update, here it is. As you can see, the sun is going down, it is getting dark. And this is my stopping point. This is pretty, you know, it's pretty solid. Look at that, it looks pretty sweet too. So I cut this out. It went like this. Cut that out, and then I put this in here. As you kind of saw earlier, right now it's just being held in with self-tappers, but it's all real nice and tight up against the body. Nice seam there to weld. Same with here. And I kind of just got it like pounded in place for a little bit. But it's like look at that. That's gonna be able to. That's not a very big gap. I'll be able to put a few stitch welds and then tuck seam seal in there. That's what I do want to do. And then this lip right here with all those holes is gonna get folded over this and then welded to that. So super smooth. I want a vent right here, so super smooth, super sweet, super awesome. And now there's not a hole there anymore. So stop yelling at me. You ruined your car. So that side's done. That side needs to be done. And then yeah, I'm pretty excited with this. That's pretty strong. Like that's strong. That's strengthy. So right now it's just held on with, I think, like 6 or 7 self-tappers. I'll take it off. I want to prime underneath it, and then I'll weld it. I want to prime it just so it doesn't rust like underneath, and then I'll weld it. And then in case water gets in through there and then wants to run down here, I need to make a drain hole, a few drain holes in the bottom. I might just notch out a little bit here, something like that, I don't know. So do need to make a drain hole somehow for the air to escape, or the water I should say, so it doesn't pool up right there. Maybe I just won't weld it so it can just seep through. I don't know, we'll see. Alrighty, so the other clip you saw, I got the driver's side done. Now the passenger side's done. Look at that. It's freaking beautiful, huh? So, like, you know, there's some spots like right here where it's still a little far away, but once it's welded it'll be nice and tight. But it's just, I just love, this is probably my favorite part, how it it bends here, and it bends here, and it bends here. It just looks super sweet. So, this side's done, that side's done. The next course of action is probably going to be patching these holes in the firewall. Eventually I'm going to make a new firewall, but I need an engine in there first, and right now I'm just trying to get rid of all the holes in the car. So patching all the holes in the firewall will probably be the next step with that metal. Well, actually no, it won't, because I'm doing something else. So the reason I did this is to make fender vents. That's the whole reason. Originally there's a huge like bubble thing here. You can go back to the last video and you'll see it. Big bubble thing. Oh, last video right here at the top. Click on that. If you haven't seen that one, watch that one before you finish this one. Anyways, big bubble thing. I cut that off because I wanted to make a vent, but I couldn't make a vent because I could probably only make the vent go in about that far before it hit the bubble. And I'm trying to get like that far. So as you can see, I already cut it out. This is how it's going to look on the fender. I just scored it with the grinder here so I can get a bend along that line, which is going to be hard because it's as you can see, it's curved this way, but it's also curved like this way. So it's going to be really hard to get that bend. But I've clearanced the underside of it. Oh, is it light enough? I don't know. Well, you can see this piece right here used to be up in there. So I took that out because it's double thickness of metal. We don't need that nonsense. Also because I'm trying to keep the weight down. But yeah, so that's gonna be the vent. I'm gonna take some of this metal and attach it to this back side to extend the vent in up to, like, I don't know, probably like this point. I need to put it on the car and see where it falls, but I'm probably gonna end up extending the vent so that when you look in there, like if you look in from the side, it doesn't just end here. The vent will keep going like that much farther or something. I don't know if you can see that because I definitely can't in the camera. So if you can't, just know it's like 2 or 3 inches past this. Basically, I'm going to extend this piece of metal to be about this far. And then I'm going to, you know, make the sides so it's just not a gaping hole. So I need to get this bent, figure some stuff out. So, the last clip you saw, I had this cut, right? Look at this. I got that plate welded in, or tacked in. I got that plate tacked in. Look at how sweet that looks. That's flippin' cool. So, you see, I just put little metal things in there, little metal wedges. And it's 2 inches. It's even all the way up. 2 inches is how big the vent is. And it's really cool because if you look at it this way, you can kind of see how it's slightly bent. It's because it follows the same shape the fender does. So that's super race car, super sweet. And I'm gonna go put it on the car, see what it looks like. Wow, look at that. That's flippin' sweet. So, you saw the vent, right? Look at this. Well, this is what I was talking about. So, right here, let me get in here. It's right here. You see where it comes in? I want to take it and get a piece of metal and like round it and attach it to here. See, from here to here. Alrighty, it has been a few days now, and it's extremely windy. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you do hear wind, I'm sorry, it's extremely windy right now. So, I have been cracking on this Camaro, on these vents, for a good bit, a couple days now. Both sides are matching right now. So I showed you the driver's side. Let me see. I hope right now the wind's kind of died down a little bit. So there's the driver's side, right? Nice. And then passenger side. See that? Bam. Ugh, I don't know if I filmed it, so there you go. There it is. Wow. And look, there's a cat in there. There's a cat in there. Nice. That's a 7M Super Block. Well, not my Super Block, but a different Super Block. So, I have the vents, but I want to make them, right now they are vents and they're technically functional because air can escape, but I want to make them super functional. Like I want ducting, I want air to be forced out of those vents. So, that's what's going on here. Look at how wild this jig is. But this just shows that you can do literally whatever you want to do. If you're trying to make, I don't know, X, Y, and B, whatever. Well, I said X, Y, and B. I think it's X, Y, Z. Is how the alphabet goes. I don't know, dude. I'm just a shade tree mechanic. I don't know. So this is what's going on. Look at this nonsense. So, right? You see what's happening here? Because I don't. I'm just kidding. I do. I have these two holding the pipe to the metal. I have this holding the metal to the table. I have these clamping the bar to the table. And then I just hammered it to get this nice bend. First I used the press, but then I hammered it. And this, I'll show you where that's going to go in just a second. I just wanted to show you this before I took it all apart. It's pretty loose, actually, because I already got my bend. So, let's get that off. So, you can see it's got a nice little radius to it. And let me show you where that's going to go, or where at least the plan is. I don't know how. Ooh, I might have done this wrong, actually. So, well, here's the idea. So look, you see this is the idea. So I want it to attach to there and then attach to the body, which it looks like, man, My hat keeps getting caught on this little knob right there. You see that little nub? That's the idea. Which, I mean, I guess I'm kind of in the ballpark, so that it will. Actually, I'm in a decent spot right now. I just gotta do some trimming. That corner lines up. Might even be a good idea to just. This was kind of just a tester. I've never done this before. I've never done any of this before, so. This is just a tester, so I'm just kind of seeing how it goes. But basically, you can get an idea here. It's gonna go something like that. So there's gonna be a nice, smooth, gradual duct to there, which I might put a little bit of too much bend on it because I kind of want it like at an angle, not flat like this. So there's that, and then once this is in place, there's gonna be a piece that comes up this way. And a piece that comes down this way at an angle to force air through that vent. Alright, so I've gotten a fair bit done, as you can see, since the last clip. I totally forgot to film, so, you know, my bad. But this side is done, 100%, well, not 100%, 90% done. I still need to file this away, because it hits the firewall just right here, so if I take off about an 1/8 inch, it'll be good. But everything's all welded, everything's nice and... So 4 pieces of metal is what it took. This piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. This one was really super difficult to make. You can see, it's like freaking great. And then so it swoops up here, it comes like this, all the air coming out. Looks super sweet. So, super functional, super cool, a lot of work. What was I gonna say? I totally spaced. I don't know. It's like an inner fender, though. I basically made an inner fender for that. And let me tell you, whew, not fun. I mean, it's been, no, I take that back. It's been really fun. But it has not been easy. It's been quite difficult. A lot of brain power to get that far. And now, I need to do it to the passenger side. I don't know why it was He's like, what is going on? I shall see you next time.